We can take our dogs to the dog park and burn off that energy, but they're not really learning how to behave. And a lot of times they end up becoming a little worse because whenever they're around other dogs, they think it's play. So we felt that we could come up with something that paralleled the martial arts for dogs. And so we're teaching the dogs how to behave. We're doing your basic obedience, sit, stay, come, off, everything you'd want your dog to learn, but we're doing that in a way in which combines physical activity. We use canine conditioning equipment, we use games and things like tug, we'll even do obedience in our pool. So any way we can improve the dog's behavior while we're giving them an outlet for their energy is going to tire them out, but also teach them how to be better dogs, and that's what we all want for our pets.
Absolutely, Jairus. We agree totally. And with dogs, like they also have obesity problems, just like humans do.
Yes.
So are you finding that the people that come to you and take your course with their dogs, are the dogs losing weight?
Yeah, we've had a number of dogs lose weight. And what's interesting, a lot of times people will come to us just for the obedience, and then we'll let them know that their dog might need to lose a couple of pounds too. And so it becomes an added benefit, like a lot of owners don't realize. So almost 60% of dogs are overweight. And that means more than 1 out of every 2 people who come to us have an overweight dog. And the owners don't know. It's just a simple fact of not knowing. A lot of times when we show an owner a normal size or an ideal weight dog, the immediate thought is, wow, that dog is skinny. And so just like, if that's what they think is normal, then they're going to think that's okay. But the easiest way to tell if your dog is overweight is whether or not you can feel their ribs. Their ribs, you should be able to feel their ribs as easy as you would like a guitar string, almost like you can pluck them. And so that means if you have a short-haired dog, that means you'll be able to see the ribs. And that's when people think the dog is too skinny because they can see the ribs, but that's not the case. But we have had a number of people some of their dogs lose up to 30 pounds since they've been coming to us just from the activity and eating right and just learning what a healthy dog should actually look like. And so that's been the added benefit of this kind of obedience and exercise is what we call it, is having a healthier pet. So we have a happy, healthy, well-behaved pet, and the owners really love that.
Let's say somebody comes in with a dog, maybe a little older, a little bit of a weight problem. In your course and your training, is there anything that is there a modified exercise for maybe a dog that might not be able to do the extreme workout?
Yeah. So the thing that's great about what we do, it's we can customize it from puppy to senior. My wife is a veterinarian, and she's a rehab professional. She's been a veterinarian for 18 years, and so she's developed protocols of how we would exercise a puppy versus how we would exercise a senior dog, and so that way we're able to get the weight off, we're able to keep them active without overdoing it. And so the hardest part with senior dogs is when they get a little arthritic, they have a tendency to move less. The less they move, the more weight they gain. And the problem with that is that the more weight they gain, the more pressure it puts on the joints, the more pain they're in, the less they want to move, the more weight they gain. So it's a cycle. So what we end up doing is trying to strengthen the muscles that stabilize the joint to take some of that pressure off the joints, the hips in particular, while we're working with them to get some of that weight off. So we make them stronger, then we get some of that weight off. The one thing that most pet owners notice with their senior dog is that they'll do something like jump in the car. So like my dog has not jumped in a car for a year, but they feel they lost the weight, they're a little stronger, they feel so much better, and that's usually the result that they see. The dog starts doing things that they hadn't done in years, and then the dog's more happy, the owner's more happy, and it's really amazing to see.